Welcome to Countdown to Infinity, a Marvel's Avengers podcast. We talk all things Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the universe is back. It's bigger than ever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is.
Okay.
It is more Deadpool-y than ever.
Okay, that's fair.
That's right. We are talking about Deadpool and Wolverine, the third Deadpool film.
Yes.
This is the first, though.
What?
Since the Marvel 20th Century Fox merger.
Yes.
So a huge historic, I was going to say episode, huge historic installment either way. And it seems like it's going to be breaking the record for highest grossing rated R opening of all time.
I mean, it hit the ground running, didn't it?
It hit the ground running.
For sure.
My name is Emmanuel.
Oh, right. My name is Sofia.
This episode, we're talking about our first reactions to the movie. We just saw it.
We're fresh out.
We will have a portion that is spoiler-free. We're not going to ruin much. We're just going to tell you about the vibes that we like. Mm-hmm. And then we'll talk a little bit spoilery stuff, but we'll have a full-length, probably longer than an hour-long episode filled with spoilers.
Recapping the entire movie then.
Recapping the whole movie, talking about all the cameos and Easter eggs. That'll be with John and Drew. That'll come out next week.
Yes.
So there's a couple Deadpool episodes of this pod that you'll be listening to. But boy, oh boy, Deadpool and Wolverine, like we were talking about, the third Deadpool film, directed by Sean Levy, starring Ryan Reynolds.
Of course. Hugh Jackman.
Back as Wolverine, and a whole lot of other people.
Oh, there's a lot of names.
Yep. This is spoiler-free territory, though. So, Sophia, what are your first impressions of the film having just come out fresh?
Woo! Damn. I mean, I was ready, but I don't know what I was ready for, but it sure was not that. Lot of fun. I have not been laughing literally out loud in the movie theater in quite some time. So
well, that's because we just watched Longlegs recently.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
Like no movies that I've seen recently have been this entertaining.
And part of that is because we've been watching kind of
that's true.
That's
true.
It'd be funny though if you were laughing at Longlegs. I'd be like, huh.
But I was like sinister giggling at that movie. Anyways, but this movie was hilarious. So much fourth wall, which like you expect with Deadpool, right? Like that's gonna happen. But damn, I mean,
this is another tier of Deadpool movie.
Oh, for sure. And it was so fast. Like I felt like we were in the theater for like 15 minutes. Like it was just entertaining from start to finish. The action was heavy and the cameos were crazy. And yeah, it was really cool, really fun.
It's another notch of Deadpool.
Yes.
It is filled with a lot of love towards the 20th Century Fox era of films. And it is an ending of era in some way for all of that. And the movie definitely pays homage to that.
Yes.
I was really surprised, I think, with how meta... I shouldn't be. It's a Deadpool movie. But even like... I don't know. Like it's what you expected, but also they reference some really, really deep Marvel stuff.
Yes.
And even that to me was like, wow. And you know, it's and we watch all these movies.
Yes,
so
we do.
It was kind of wild in that respect. I really did enjoy the way they made it kind of a buddy comedy.
Yeah.
Between two people that hate each other.
Yeah.
That element was
but you knew it was going to happen.
It was played up a lot. They're mortal enemies, Deadpool and Wolverine. And the way they made that connection grow and grow throughout the movie was a whole lot of fun. I think there's a lot of stuff that you get from the trailers that doesn't even start to
make sense,
but doesn't even start to even show you just the levels that are in the movie. Yeah, because it's filled with so much. I mean, it's almost exhausting. You know, like you're just like, oh my god.
Oh, well, coming out of it, I am exhausted. Yeah, but watching it, I was so entertained.
It's a lot of fun, and rewatching it, I think you'll get a lot out of.
Oh, I'm gonna rewatch the shit out of this movie
as well. And
Also, I will say I appreciated how like emotional it could be at times too, because there are some things that each character go through or leads, and which is really nice because it's, of course, like we appreciate the humorous part of their relationships, like the irony, like all of that stuff. But when it gets to like the deeper things, is what I also appreciate too. Because I was like, oh, like all of this is happening for a reason.
And I think it's also like it's almost cathartic for fans of Marvel. Some people have criticized this movie as being just a giant piece of fan fiction comic book content.
No.
But in a way, it sort of is. But also, like, I think if you've been around and watched a lot of these Marvel films, MCU, Disney or not, there's a great catharsis in watching it, and honestly making you feel a little old. Not old, but like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that Hugh Jackman.
Careful, your age is showing.
I know, has been Wolverine for 20 years.
Yeah.
It's like, when did that happen?
And he looks just as good.
He looks good. He's still buff as hell.
I mean, God. There was not a dry seat in the house. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh,
it was
yeah. And
crazy.
Deadpool, and Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool.
Yeah.
For sure calls that out,
Yeah.
baby. But
yeah,
I think most MCU fans will enjoy it. I was kind of surprised with how many kids were in our screening. But
yeah, that was insane. Like children.
But this isn't even like a couple cuss words level rated R. This is like,
yeah.
So I mean, whatever. That's the world we live in. I can't wait for these kids to go to school.
Disney is like a ticket's a ticket.
But honestly, I mean, it's a great movie to watch if you're a kid.
If you're over 18,
learn a couple new bad words, ask your parents some questions.
There are even in the fighting sequences, there are some.
It's pretty gory and brash like that.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah.
So obviously most of you probably haven't seen the movie, so stop listening to this pod because we're going to dive into some spoilery stuff.
Pause it right here and then come back once you've seen it.
Come back and remember we have that really long pod. We'll see you in a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, for everyone else, welcome back.
Hello. Welcome back.
Sophia, what did you think of
my God.
Talk about your favorite spoilers. Talk about, how you felt watching it and maybe some of the people you were happy to see again.
I don't know. I was just I'm having a stroke. Where do you even start? Like, of course we're talking fucking Blade, of course, and then I'm gonna throw up. Just think, I can't.
That's good content. Just Sophia mumbling and coughing.
This is what I mean. I can't. There's so much. There is so much that happens. First of all the Deadpools, all the variants, the TVA. Hello, like he references Loki specifically. He was like, "Oh, you mean episode 5, season 1?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" Like all of it is so beautifully connected, and it all makes so much sense to the timeline. Not just like the actual like sacred timeline, but like MCU timeline. It's incredible. I love it. I love it so much. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, even though that wasn't even like where half of my brain is right now. It's just I'm trying to put together the spaghetti right now.
Well, that
is
when
my
I was
brain.
talking about like how next level meta this was, not only does he talk about Disney, which is fun because that's new. He gets to make Pinocchio jokes now,
right, right.
because he's part of the MCU. But also like the Channing Tatum as Gambit. That to me was like, oh my gosh, now they're doing
Elektra,
stuff.
like what?
Well, not only the Tatum thing wasn't even a movie. That's just like a rumor of a movie, and that's how far into it they went to. It honestly kind of reminded me. I don't think you watched The Flash, but The Flash has Nicolas Cage. Oh, sorry. This is spoiler for The Flash. I'm also spoiling The Flash. But in The Flash movie, Nicolas Cage is Superman and has a cameo.
Yes.
And that's like not even that's just a movie that was canceled that they reference, and that was when I was like, oh my gosh, this is another layer. But yes, Elektra, Jennifer Gardner back as Elektra, Wesley Snipes. I also, even just on the Jennifer Gardner part, there's kind of a Ben Affleck joke.
Yes.
That happens.
Yes.
And when he talks about Daredevil, because Ben Affleck played Daredevil in the earlier Marvel film, and that to me was like that's funny, and it's so personal because, like you were telling me earlier, a lot of Ryan Reynolds' family and friends have big
Yeah.
parts
Blake,
in the movie.
Blake Lively is in it. Both of their kids are in
Voice some
are
of the Deadpools.
variants. Yeah, like it's so deep. Matthew McConaughey.
Oh my
He
gosh. Talks about Gossip Girl.
Yes, he mentions Blake.
Yeah,
Blake,
he talks about the proposal.
Yes.
He kicks like a head like a soccer ball because he owns that soccer team.
It's so funny.
It's
and then X-23, like she's all grown up and just I can't. I'm tired.
It's a fun. it's kind of, and I think this was one of my biggest fears going into the movie because Logan was so good. Mm-hmm. Like we talked about earlier, Oscar-nominated story from James Mangold, and it's a beautiful ending to Logan. He gives his life.
Yes.
For X-23 to escape to Canada. Mm-hmm. And it's like a beautiful, beautiful ending. Yeah. And I was scared they were going to undo it, which they do. And they don't hide from it, though. They address it directly. It opens with him
first thing,
digging up his grave. Mm-hmm. But it's also... I could see why Hugh Jackman came back, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. There was a reason for it, and it really is a farewell to an entire era of Marvel movies. Also,
I mean, the emotion is still there, right? Like, so even though they do literally dig up Logan and bring him back and travel across the universes or across universes to bring him a version of Logan, all of the emotion that comes with any Logan is still there. Mm-hmm. And I think that kind of makes up for it.
The regret. Mm-hmm.
The selflessness too, right? Like, so he was, as X-23 says herself, like, you are never the right guy, but you always show up. Yeah. Like, you always end up being the guy. Yeah. So, and I think that was true for this Logan too.
It's true. And I'm also really happy that, well, I don't know. Like, I think some people are I'm really happy a lot of the characters were given honor. Mm-hmm. In a way, movies that some people really crap on for being different, and maybe there's only one of them in for Marvel, and it's nice to see them all kind of looped in because in another meta Deadpool way, the MCU would not exist without all of these other Marvel films and like helping to raise the bar and making Marvel a commodity, with Fantastic Four.
I was going to say, I have not mentioned Chris.
Yeah. Huge cameo. And I won't even say cameo, kind of at least for
himself?
The middle act. Well, not himself, but for the middle act, he's more than a cameo. He's like a character. Oh,
for sure. He is 100%. He is his character. Yeah. I can't.
Johnny Storm from Fantastic Four, which I said earlier, my favorite reveal of the movie was when he was not Captain America, but...
Yeah. That was hilarious.
Human Torch. Damn. Super, super fun moment.
I was like, he's going to say it.
Well, there's, yeah.
And we talked about how you mentioned like he looks younger and his hair was different.
Yeah.
Well,
I should have known.
They for sure like did some editing because he is gorgeous, my God. Yeah. But yeah, he definitely looked a lot younger. And I think in that moment, the whole theater was just excited to see Chris. Yeah. But I didn't catch on to the de-aging until they were like tied up in the carriage. Yeah.
And we already talked about Jennifer Gardner back as
she's
Elektra,
still just as hot.
Wesley Snipes as Blade, and I talked to after the movie, I was like, Wesley Snipes as Blade is really cool, but also he says in the movie that no one will replace him. Yeah. Which is actually happening right now in the MCU with Mahershala Ali. But that was really fun to see. Gambit, not that just absolutely bonkers. A lot of characters from the Fox X-Men in this too. There's a Juggernaut character and the Professor X's unborn twin sister is
Cassandra,
the main villain. And I'm going to look up the name of the actress because she plays Princess Diana.
She does.
In The Crown. And she's always very nice in everything I see. And I've never seen her take Emma Corrin.
Yeah.
But in this movie, she's very, very sinister.
Cassandra can ruin my day any day. Like, she was so hard. And she didn't even have to try. Like, it was so easy for her. Yeah. Love her performance, her attitude, the way she carried the character. My God. Yeah. I mean, just so impressive.
They did a good job.
Oh, they did.
In the movie. I can't wait. And the hand thing in the head was not a fan of that.
Why?
And not in a bad way, but it it made me so uncomfortable.
That's what I'm talking
It's like
about.
on purpose, so I'm not mad at it, but it was so crazy
I like
to
the way
think of.
I like the way it looked.
Yeah.
Whenever she was carrying
Matthew McFadden.
yes.
Paradox, Mr. Paradox from the TVA.
It looked so ugly.
He was a great addition, but yeah, that's just Tom.
When you see Tom,
That's Tom
you just know
Wiseau from Succession.
You know it's gonna be he's gonna mess things up.
Logan Roy
Yeah.
is in X-Men 2. As
Oh,
in
that's
X2,
right.
so
Yeah.
Really, really fun to see all the Succession heads
Crazy.
rise in Marvel. B-15 is in it. We can't really go down the entire list.
No,
TVA ended up
so
being
many.
a huge deal.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Really, yeah. I enjoyed the movie. Do you have a favorite action sequence, or are they called action sequence? I guess it's action, but I just call them
yes,
blood
they are
and guts
action
sequences.
The intro credits, or beginning credits, or starting credits, whatever, however you phrase it. To Bye 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 by NSYNC.
NSYNC. Yeah.
I'm sorry. What?
One of the two.
Were you about to say Backstreet Boys?
He was doing the NSYNC dance.
You don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was the choreography from Bye Bye Bye.
What's crazy too is they were doing there's like
so good.
There's like a camera move for TikTok videos where the action
Emmanuel,
focuses on the dancer, and they did the same thing in the movie. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh my God, Emmanuel, you're
that fixed point thing that goes on. Interesting.
Please.
I like there's a scene where he fights a bunch of Deadpools, and there was a one shot where they're just walking through killing a ton of dead Deadpools.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, Deadpool says, he makes kind of an awkward landing, and he says that's all people remember. But no, Deadpool, I remember the whole thing. It was really fun. There's a van fight too. That was really cool. There's just a whole lot of cool stuff. My favorite,
of course, with
team up.
Yeah.
Is when Blade and Elektra X-23.
Oh yeah.
That was really fun.
Yeah. Same. I think that one was probably my favorite. After the intro.
Great to see that. I hope everyone got the Marvel trainers.
No.
Yeah.
I think also just the Wolverine Deadpool fight.
Which time? My God.
The very first one. It was like, whoa, my God. Also, when Wolverine puts his hood on or his mask on.
Oh, that was just a great moment.
Oh, Lord.
Everybody was so excited. And it actually looks so cool.
Yes. He just looks incredible.
Yeah. When we talk about emotional stuff, I mean, it's all about finding your place.
What?
I'm just remembering when you brought up his mask, I was thinking like,
oh yeah,
it's the ending that for a moment it's almost like both of them were going to die, and you were like, okay, that's beautiful in its own right. And then even after that, there's that fake out of him like walking away, and then I was like, wait a minute, I like the way they left off with Logan. And with the entire Deadpool family, hanging out. That was kind of sweet. And X-23's there too.
It's like he found his new family, right? Like not that they could never be replaced, but I'm just saying, like the X-Men are also in Deadpool's universe. The X-Men are still around, so Logan could very well just go be an X-Men.
Yeah. They just denied him. Yeah.
Yeah. But you
don't worry about that kind of stuff.
No, well, I'm just saying, like long term, like if Logan wanted to, he could just go and check in and be like, "Hey guys, I know I'm not your Logan, but I'm a Logan."
This movie also doesn't affect Earth 616 that much, the main one, because it's all set in that other one. And
Wait, what are you talking about?
The Earth, which like this isn't a part of the Earth that's in Captain America: Brave New World. Because the timeline / sacred dimension of the main Earth is Earth 616. And this one was all set in that other Earth.
Is this not 616?
I don't think
Deadpool's Earth?
No.
Are you sure?
Different. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty positive.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll Google it, but it like cuts to it in the very beginning, remember?
Yeah.
He gets denied by the Avengers in 616, and then it cuts to Earth 1130 or something. And then this movie starts, and he's a car dealer salesman.
Oh, you're right. I thought that
we'll double check,
I thought that it was 616.
It doesn't, which doesn't matter. It's still a super fun movie, and also like all the Fox stuff. But final thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine, Sophia?
I think that everybody should go and watch it. I will be watching it again at least 2 more times.
Wow.
Because I think that there's a lot of things that you could miss, like just visually. I want to enjoy it again and again. And also, everyone is just really hot in this movie. So props
That-
to MCU and Marvel and Disney.
People are like, is there another one? It ends off nicely, but most of the time, threes are trilogies are perfect. This is the third Deadpool.
Yeah.
It seems like it's the end of the Fox stuff because we get like a cool,
that beautiful after credits scene.
Green Day song, "Time of Your Life," high
So
school
good.
graduation.
Yeah, it was very like nostalgic almost, right?
But I don't know if there's going to be a lot more. I know there's a joke about Wolverine or Hugh Jackman doing it until he was 90, but I mean, they're almost.
I mean,
Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds is 47 years young, but he's not like,
Yeah, but
Sean Levy, the director of this, is making like Stranger Things. He's doing all kinds of other stuff. I don't know. Could this be the end?
I mean, this isn't that hard for them.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, it's easy money.
And
also, Ryan doesn't even have to show his face the entire time. Like, it can just be he can just be voiceovers.
But he doesn't do that.
I know that he doesn't do that, but I'm saying he could.
He would never do that.
I'm saying
Ryan would never betray Deadpool like that.
I'm just saying he could if he wanted to. And now that they introduced a mask for Logan to wear all the time to look like a badass, like he could totally do the same.
They really play up the maybe this is the end multiple times in the movie because I just remember now he was going to sacrifice himself and there was the whole like there will always be one or whatever.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's meant for you to like just be like, oh man, Hugh Jackman. It's end of an era.
Do you think that's a joke about just Hugh Jackman coming back anyway?
I know.
I think that's what it is.
But yeah, go watch it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so much fun.
And I think there will be a lot to talk about afterwards and a lot to see again. But we've come to the end of this episode. Sophia, what do you have to plug?
Oh, just thank you for, like I had mentioned before, thank you for sticking around. We all really appreciate it over here.
A lot of weeks of no eps and then one weekend where you get 3.
Boom. We said hi.
I know.
We're Hugh Jackman.
We're back. We're going to be doing this until we're 90. Yikes.
But just thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Just thank you so much for sticking around. And please, please, please go listen to all the other Dolphin Pod things. Or you can contribute to patreon.com/dolphinpod, DELFINPOD. And if you want to follow me on any socials, you sure can. Everything is at _simply Sophie, SOFIEE.
Go to Patreon, listen to all of the Dolphin Pod shows.
Yes.
Our Star Wars pod just wrapped up all of The Acolyte. Every single episode of The Acolyte is up now. And you know what? It's almost election season. You can register to vote at delphinpod.com.
True.
Do that. Thanks so much for listening. We'll be back with another big ep that is spoiler-filled with John and Drew.
Hi, John and Drew.
Bye.
Okay, bye.